We determine what meaning we assign to anything in life. To anything in life. Nothing in life really has a meaning except the meaning we define. Isn't that awesome? But it takes a person who has really mastered this self-talk to get to that place. So you're around someone, they say to you, I can't believe that. Like, I can't believe they get to take vacations. I don't. I can't believe, they find a man and I can't, whatever people say. And you say, you mean you can't wait? See, now watch how the energy shifts. I can't wait. It's like eagerness, anticipation. Those are the emotions that come up when you can't wait for something. I can't wait to take the trip. I can't wait to find my perfect mate. I can't wait. Tell me the emotions that come up when you say I can't wait. It's like anticipation, right? Eagerness. I'm excited. Now watch this. Same situation, but watch the self-talk. I can't believe. I can't believe it's taking me this long. I can't believe. What emotions does that bring up? I mean, for me, it could be jealousy. It could be discouragement. Like, I can't believe sounds like it could be a little discouraging. So again, we're talking about the same situation that happened, but the words you said to yourself about that situation determine the energy you brought to it. So you assign a different meaning to it.
If you're a go-getter, faith-driven and family-focused and need to break through to your next level, this is the podcast for you. Your self-talk can reshape every area of your life. It's time to dream and think big. Welcome to the Self-Talk Experience with Darnell and Tracy Self. It's time to elevate, baby. Let's get into the show.
What's up, Self-Talk Experience family? If you're listening to this, you don't know it yet. If you're watching, you're like, where's your co-host? Listen, our youngest son's graduation from college is today. And so T-Self is running around preparing for that. So you've got D-Self today. I know you're disappointed, but she'll be right back here. The next episode with us, you'll see her pretty face again. I miss her too. Hey, babe, just kind of pretending like she's next to me. Today's episode is going to be awesome. You know why? Because I want us to create a habit out of the things we're saying to ourselves about ourselves. Remember, this is a self-talk experience. And if you believe thoughts are things, now, I don't know if you believe that or not, but do you believe that the things you think about most, you start to attract in your life? Like whatever you think, your mind finds evidence to confirm in your life. And so if you look at these things, you're like, I don't like these things, or I want to eliminate these two things and gain more things that I really love, more time, more income, better relationships. So whatever these things are in your life, and you look at those things and you're like, not really happy with all these things. And you believe that these things come from these thoughts because these thoughts motivate actions that give you these results. So if that's the case, then that means we got to change some thoughts in order to get different things. Stick with me. So if we want things and we know thoughts become things, then we have to say, okay, so what do I need to be thinking about? This is why the self-talk experience, in my opinion, is so important to us. And it allows us, it's been a year we've been together. Well, for those who've been with us for an entire year, if you're just joining us as a new listener or someone who's just watching the self-talk experience, we welcome you. We hope that it's life-altering, that it adds value for you and your families. And here's one of the things that I wanted us to do. Hold each other accountable for this because everything is a habit. Saying bad things to ourselves, that's a habit. Saying good things to ourselves, that's a habit. Calling each other out so we can say great things to each other, that's a habit. So it looks like this when you have a friend and a friend says, can't believe it happened to me. And you say, it could have happened for you. Have you asked yourself, why is this happening for you? And you're like, I haven't. That's what I mean. And all of a sudden, they start thinking differently about the same situation. Same situation, they just think differently about the situation. You see, we determine what meaning we assign to anything in life. To anything in life. Nothing in life really has a meaning except the meaning we define. Isn't that awesome? But it takes a person who has really mastered this self-talk to get to that place. So you're around someone, they said, They say to you, I can't believe that. Like, I can't believe they get to take vacations. I don't. I can't believe, they find a man and I can't, whatever people say. And you say, you mean you can't wait? See, now watch how the energy shifts. I can't wait. It's like eagerness, anticipation. Those are the emotions that come up when you can't wait for something. I can't wait to take the trip. I can't wait to find my perfect mate. I can't wait. Tell me the emotions that come up when you say I can't wait. It's like anticipation, right? Eagerness. I'm excited. Now watch this. Same situation, but watch the self-talk. I can't believe. I can't believe it's taking me this long. I can't believe. What emotions does that bring up? I mean, for me, it could be jealousy. It could be discouragement. Like, I can't believe sounds like it could be a little discouraging. So again, we're talking about the same situation that happened, but the words you said to yourself about that situation determine the energy you brought to it. So you assign a different meaning to it. This is how you attract a life where you just can't wait to attack the new day. This is why we all hear and see people who have certain things we're thinking, how could they be unhappy? It's because they're still saying the wrong things to themselves. That's why syntax or order is important. Order's critical. Like, we have this 3D wall here in our house, right? What if they put the 3D wall up before the drywall? Well, that wouldn't work. If you're getting flooring and painting done at the exact same time, well, depending on the flooring or the painting that you're getting done, it would be done in a different order, right? But you want to prepare the walls, but you wouldn't actually paint the walls before you did the floor, because then it may mess up the floor. If it's a ceiling, you do the ceiling first. Why? Because you don't put all the ladders and stuff on the new floor that you just did to paint the ceiling. I only know this stuff because we had a house done. But my point is that there's an order to it. There's an order. And so I see so many people join things, join a relationship, join a business, but then they talk themselves out of the very thing they were just excited about, because they didn't get the results right away. What is that? It's the self-talk, it's the order. So what I'm saying is we have to shape our minds just as quickly as we are jumping into a business or jumping into a relationship. Otherwise, we're talking ourselves right out of the very thing that could have been good for us. It could have been healthy for us. It just took longer than we thought because of what we're saying to ourselves, right? It took us longer to gel in that relationship because of the things we were saying to ourselves. We weren't patient because of what we said to ourselves. This is why it's so important that we have healthy self-talk. Now, I'm not telling us to settle for anything. This is why it's great to have great associations who are also growing with you, because our associations determine how we think, right? Our life is a direct reflection of the standards that our associations set for us. My wife's and our associations were like, hey, y'all, go for it. Y'all are doing big things. Keep growing. Like, those who weren't, we had to disassociate with. So and I know that if you've decided that you're going to be a player in life, like today you're like, you know what? I'm tired of being a spectator in life. I'm going to be a player in life. That means I'm going to be on the field. I'm taking my life. I'm taking full control because I can control my attitude and my actions, the two things I can control, and I'm going for it. Here's a quick, I don't know if I should call it a warning, but just be aware that when you decide to hit the field of life and no longer you're going to be a spectator, one of my favorite philosophies from the late, great Jim Rohn says it's not the blowing of the wind, but the setting of the sail that determines your destination. And when you've decided that I'm just not going to let the wind blow me anywhere, I'm setting my sail. So when the wind blows, because it will, I still determine where I go because how I responded to the wind. See? So when you decide that you're going to hit the field, just know, check this out. You already know this. There's always more spectators than players. Have you ever gone to any game? You name the game, football game, basketball game, any game, you go to a game, you and I both know there's always going to be more spectators than players on the field. And if that's the case, there's always going to be more opinions about what you're doing. Always. So if you're a spectator, tell me how many opinions are focused towards you and what you're doing. Like hardly any. Maybe one person walks past you and was like, oh, I can't believe he has that on. Maybe. But typically, you don't even notice in an arena of 50,000 people or more. But the players, I can't believe they missed the catch. Man, we pay you to catch that. They got all kinds of opinions because the players make it look easy, by the way. Those who are good at what they do, make it look easy. Make it look like it's easy to run back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Right? But that's some serious conditioning. So all I'm saying to you is in life, a lot more people are going to have opinions once you put yourself out there. Once you decide, you know what, I'm stepping out, I'm doing more, then get ready because there are going to be more opinions. If you don't want more opinions of others, then stay in the stands. But if you're ready, look, just because they have opinions don't mean you got to buy them. Just because they're going to have opinions. That's when people are like, all the haters, they're going to hate. That's their job. They're supposed to hate. In fact, sometimes they're positioned so that you can think a certain way and open certain doors that you wouldn't have opened if it wasn't for the haters. All right. So I just wanted to remind you on this episode that self-talk has to be a habit. So I want you to catch yourself, because I catch myself all the time. My wife catches me all the time. I catch her. And this is good because we have discussed that we want this. So you have to get permission. We've talked about in the previous episode. Hey, listen, I want to really, because, I saw this episode where Mrs. Self talked about thoughts are things, right? I'm sorry, D-Self. I'm so used to another business where everybody says Mrs. Self. But so I saw this episode about thoughts are things, and I want to change all my things. And if I'm changing these things, I got to change my thoughts. And if I change my thoughts, I got to be held accountable. And if I'm held accountable, I need folks to ask me questions when I'm not saying the right thing. Check this out. When you get different questions, you get different answers. And when you get different answers, you get different things. See how that was cyclical? So if you want to change these thoughts, or you want to change these things, you have to change your thoughts. In order to change your thoughts and make it a habit, somebody's got to hold you accountable. Somebody's going to say, how else could you have said that? And you're like, oh, shoot. Because that's the old you. And it's going to keep trying to fight the new you. The old you will keep trying to fight the new you. And then you say, I should have said, I can't wait. Not, I can't believe. You're right. And because someone asked you a different question than you normally would have been asked, because you never gave them permission to do this, perhaps, then you get different answers. Because you have a different answer, now you think differently again, and you have different things. That's the way it works. There's consequences either way. I'll just leave you guys with this. There's consequences either way. Belief carries consequences. My wife and I, a year ago, I can't believe it's been a year, decided we're going to do this podcast. That belief came with consequences, right? Weekly dedication to do this, carving out time to focus on what we thought could add value. So not just the actual recording, but the thinking of, hey, what shifted in our lives that gave us the lifestyle we're blessed to have today, that we feel like, man, if someone had taught us this 10, 15 years ago, maybe over 20 years ago now, when we first started shifting our thoughts and really paying attention to self-talk and personal development, what do we wish someone would have said to us? So these are all consequences. But check this out. Because we believe that, we could do this. We took a class. We could do this. We started doing it. We could do this. Started getting small wins. We could do this. And because of that, there were consequences. The consequences were not just our own consequences, not just our own dedication and sacrifice to do it, but because we've been traveling a lot, other folks were like, man, I have a better relationship with my kids now. I have a better relationship with my parents now. I got a raise at my job now. Like, these are the things that make me smile. I'm like, really? Like, people had no idea they've been watching our podcast, strangers that we'd not met before. And they were like, I know you guys. We're like, we have a podcast. They're like, yes. That makes me feel good to know that somehow something we said, because it was given to us, we've been able to give back, and it made a difference in someone's life. There's a consequence there. Now, check this out. The belief that, there's other people doing podcasts too. So, why should we do one? What are we going to say that they haven't already heard? Do we really have a time for it? Will we succeed at it? That's a belief, right? It's a belief that we can't do it, a belief that we don't have the time to do it, a belief that we shouldn't do it, a belief that there's a whole bunch of other people in the space, a belief that whatever that belief. And guess what? There's consequences there too. And the consequence could be that people didn't stick together, who have said, hey, created a healthier relationship with my spouse and I. Where a child and a parent perhaps could have a strained relationship because of people come up to us and said, hey, I have a better relationship with my child because of the things I learned in one of those episodes. That's a consequence too. So I just want to encourage you that it's bigger than you. This whole self-talk, Bill, this is much bigger than you. Like yes, you're going to change. But guess what? Everybody you love and who you care about and you're around, they change too because of you. See, we change because of our associations. They change because of their associations. So that means when you change, the people you've chosen to be around you, they change too. So it's bigger than you. So let's not take this lightly, guys, as we go into a new year. Let's push hard at becoming the best storyteller to ourselves. I mean, telling ourselves stories about ourselves that cause us to smile and to look into the future and say, you know what, I haven't even started yet. Because remember, whatever we say to ourselves about ourselves truly and most definitely will determine what we attract for ourselves. And I believe that you're going to attract some wonderful things, wonderful businesses, wonderful relationships, a wonderful future for yourself because of your shift in your self-talk. God bless you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys next time with T-Self back with me. And I see you all over the top.
Thank you for listening to the Self-Talk Podcast with Darnell and Tracy Self. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to rate and review this podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform. And we'll see you next time. And remember, talk good to yourself.